Today we're unboxing an iPhone 11 that I picked up on eBay for an unbelievable price. It was only $35 plus shipping. So all in, this was only $44. And if this is what I think it is, this should be the cheapest fully working iPhone 11 on eBay. Let's go ahead and get it opened up. And here we have the iPhone 11. It looks like the screen has a moderate amount of scratching, but nothing too bad here. And here is the back panel. We have the black color option here. And again, just some minor scratches here, nothing too bad at all. The corners on this iPhone look really good too. I don't see any dents. So let's see if it has any battery power. And it does. Okay, and the device boots into the iOS 18 setup screen. So let's go through this now. And it looks like we got through activation. With this being such a cheap price, I was a little bit worried that it would be iCloud locked. And now we are met with the iOS 18 home screen. Let's go into settings so we can find some more information about this iPhone. And okay, it looks like we have a base model 64GB iPhone 11. And we can also see with this no SIM restrictions here that this is a carrier unlocked iPhone. So now let's check out the battery health of this iPhone. And it looks like we are getting a service warning here with 79% as our maximum capacity. So that's just 1% below the 80% threshold for the service battery warning. So with this being a 5-year-old iPhone that's still in really good condition with no sort of locks present, it was absolutely a steal for only $35. It was one of those situations where it just came up on eBay and I purchased it really quickly. But I was really afraid that the price being so low was done in error. So I really was thinking the seller would cancel the order and relist at a higher price. Okay, well, I've been using this iPhone 11 for around a week now, and it's been working perfectly. I plugged it into my Mac to find out some more details about the device. And using the coconut battery application, I found out that this iPhone was actually made in early 2022. So this was definitely one of the later iPhone 11 models to be produced. That application also reports the battery health a little bit higher than the device. So the device reports 79%, however the coconut battery is reporting 83%. And it has 411 cycles on the battery. I decided to arrange the icons on this iPhone in a similar way to its original version, iOS 13. And I also applied the wallpaper that would have originally come on this iPhone. So this iPhone 11 was released in September 2019 alongside the iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max. And this was really the year that put into place Apple's naming strategy for the iPhones that we still have today, with the standard numbered model as well as the up-level Pro models. Apple had tried strategies like this dating all the way back to the iPhone 5S and 5C in 2013. But these 2019 11 and 11 Pros are really when the naming began to make perfect sense. You could get your iPhone 11 in black, white, purple, yellow, green, or product red. And the storage capacities were 64, 128, or 256 gigabytes. And this iPhone 11 here was really similar to the iPhone XR that had come out just 1 year prior. So you can see they have pretty much identical bodies with the exception of the cameras. These two had the same 6.1-inch LCD display. And this display panel was a bit of a low point for the model. It had a resolution of 1792 by 828 and only 326 pixels per inch. The iPhones with OLED screens at the time had much higher pixel densities at around 450. So this older style LCD display, of course, could not display true black levels like an OLED panel could. And it actually could not display 1080p resolution natively. It also had larger bezels around the display than those higher end models. But although the display was a bit of a low point, there was still a lot to love about the iPhone 11. It now had 2 camera lenses which were previously exclusive to the higher end iPhones or the Plus models. So these were both 12 megapixels with a wide and an ultra wide sensor. And having the ultra wide camera was a really great feature. I remember being really impressed by this back in 2019, and it was really cool to have it here on the standard iPhone. As at the time when Apple came out with new camera features, they were usually exclusive to the up-level model. Another new feature for the iPhone 11 camera was the night mode. So I can demonstrate that by covering up the lens. And by doing that, you gain the night mode control here. And if you've ever used a camera before with a night mode, you'll know how much it can really help out. This iPhone also received a much improved front-facing camera. It was now a 12 megapixel sensor that could record in 4K, whereas the previous iPhone XR had a 7 megapixel camera that could only record in 1080p. This iPhone was powered by the A13 Bionic chip, and that was a 6-core chip clocked at around 2.66 gigahertz. There were 2 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores in this setup. It was quoted to be around 14% faster in single-core performance and 26% faster in multi-core performance compared to the A12 Bionic in the iPhone XR. And it was now paired to 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 3. And thanks to improved efficiency from that chip as well as other improvements, the iPhone 11 had slightly improved battery life. And this was one of the few iPhones to see a year-over-year drop in price. So it launched at $699 instead of the XR that launched at $749. And during its lifespan, it saw price cuts all the way down to $499. And this iPhone was discontinued in fall 2022 with the release of the iPhone 14. It was just announced at WWDC 2025 that the iPhone 11 here will receive the iOS 26 update this fall. So it's nice to know that it will be getting that update with the redesign. And really, in my week's testing of this iPhone, it's pretty much blown away my expectations. Not long ago, I got this iPhone XR on eBay for around $50. And I was actually really surprised at how much better the iPhone 11 performs on iOS 18 compared to the XR. I was thinking it would be a marginal improvement, but no, the iPhone 11 is noticeably better, with significantly less lag and wait times. I would say a decent amount of that performance gain can be attributed to the extra 1 gigabyte of RAM on this model. My current daily iPhone is a 12 Pro Max, and honestly, I don't miss much using this iPhone 11 instead of that. The lower quality display is noticeable, and you don't have as much zoom abilities in the camera. But really, I would say this iPhone is sufficient for 90% of the things users do. And especially for things casual users do, like making calls, sending text, watching videos, and using social media, this iPhone 11 can really handle that with no issue at all. It has the modern iPhone design language with no home button and Face ID. And I wanted to touch on how I find deals like this. So I would say my secret is using saved searches on eBay. And I recommend keeping the search term itself very vague. So for mine, I just simply use iPhone. And I do apply some filters. I only look for buy it now listings. I keep the price capped at $50. But probably the most important part is keeping your search sorted by newest listed. This allows you to find the best deals right as they are posted. So once you get all of those filters put in, use the heart button on eBay to save that search. And just check that as often as you can, and you may find great deals like this. Overall, this iPhone was an absolute steal for only $35. I'm still not sure what the seller was thinking selling it at this price. But I'm definitely really glad to have this iPhone in my collection as a backup or secondary device. Be sure to get subscribed to the channel if you're interested in seeing more videos like this about really cheap devices from eBay. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.